Hello, everybody. This is Carolyn Cooper from SimplyAlign, and I am so excited today because I have with me this beautiful group of a few of our SimplyAlign practitioners here. And the reason I've gathered them together is because I want you to hear from them. We have a SimplyAlign training coming up in March 2022. It's all online, so you can join from anywhere. So we've got a lot of questions coming in. People want to know, what is it like to go through the training? What's it like to be a SimplyAlign practitioner? And a lot of other questions similar to that. So I could answer those, but I think it's better for you if you hear it from people who have actually been through the training and are doing the work with clients, have their own business doing this great work. So let's start off with, why did you come to a SimplyAlign training? Who wants to take that one?
I will start with that one. My name's Carol Colvin, and I went to my first SimplyAlign training in 2012. I originally was very interested in learning everything I could about energy. I was studying a lot about energy and light, and I wanted to be a life coach. And through one of my coaching mentors' newsletter, I discovered Carolyn's program. And then I talked to a couple other people who had been through the program, and they encouraged me to do some reading about energy and see what popped up for me. And I've always had pretty decent intuition, and I can tell when something's right for me. And as I was reading a particular article, a scripture verse was quoted. And when I read it, it said, "This is thy gift, apply unto it." And just bells went off in my head. And I knew that this is something that I needed to pursue. So I signed up for the prerequisite course and learned all about the ways of having intuition. And then I attended the course.
Nice. I never knew that whole story. That was fun to hear. Who else? Anybody else have an answer on that one?
Well, I can say something. Or does someone else want to go?
Go ahead.
I'm Tana Longhurst, and I first heard Carolyn at a conference, and I was really impressed with what she said. I had taken I had taken a lot of other classes about energy work and holistic healing and a lot of different things. Plus, I'm a foot zoner, and anyway, it just resonated with me. And so I just really felt drawn to continue my studies. So I signed up for her class. And the interesting thing is when I signed up for it, I didn't realize it was to become certified. So I went down and took the class in St. George, and it was really interesting to me. And some of the stuff I'd already been introduced to, and whereas a lot of people hadn't heard about it. So I took the class, and it took me a little bit longer to get certified. And I can't even tell you the year I took it. It's been several years now, but it really helped me with a lot of things in my life. And I have never regretted taking the class because I use it on a daily basis.
Thank you, Tana. And Karen, you're the newest. You're our newest one. I think you took the class last year. You're working towards certification right now. And what brought you? What was going on in your life that you went, wow, I want to take this class?
So I was going to a SimplyAlign practitioner for healing. And she kept telling me, you really have to do this. You really have to do this. You really have to do this. And, I was like, okay, and I loved going to the practice to have SimplyAlign done, and I saw changes and it resonated with me. And then it seemed like all the stars aligned. It was going to be online. I didn't have to travel last year. And I was like, I turned 50 and I was like, what am I waiting for? Like, it's right here. It's timing. And then the practitioner was like, I will help you, like I will be your mentor. You have somebody to ask questions to. And she just talked about how wonderful Carolyn was and how, so I was familiar with the process and I was like, what am I waiting for? So I just took a leap and I don't regret it for one single minute. I'm working towards my certification. It's not onerous or horribly hard. I've set myself a goal to get it done. And I like the Tana just said, I don't look back or regret it for a single second. I use it all the time. It has helped me grow spiritually, like beyond belief. So that's my story.
Okay, thank you. You guys notice I'm in the big city, so I keep having sirens go by. I keep muting out. So I want to know also, like you guys all mentioned kind of personal results, but what kind of tangible results? What keeps you saying, because a lot of you guys have been practitioners for many, many, many years. What keeps you doing it? What are some of the results that you see?
Carolyn, I'll answer that. I see things every day, and I see things that happen way faster than I think they could. I had a neighbor come a few years ago, and she has lost both of her parents. She has a lot of brothers and one sister, and she said, if I don't reach out to my family, nobody ever, we don't talk, we don't connect. I never hear from any of them. And it really bothers me. And she broke down and cried. And I said, well, you know what, let's just do some energy work, and let's just do, what we call a crisscross, which means just let's clear the energy between you and your sister. And we did that. And only one thing came up, and it was just basically I am sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, that kind of thing. Anyway, she left, and I don't think it was 10 minutes later, she texted and she said, okay, I know this works, but this is nuts. My sister just texted me, and she has not done that for years. And I feel like I get that kind of thing all the time. And so I do the work, I let go of it, and I don't think much more of it. And I think, oh, I might hear something in a month. And sometimes it is that immediate, that fast. And I feel like that is just every day, all the time.
Very good. That's a good story. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
I had an experience or two. I've had several, but a couple jump out. One of my first clients came to me and was really struggling with a lot of extended family relationships where nobody was talking to anyone else. And there was just this underlying anger that she still had toward, I think it was her mother, and her mother had passed. So she couldn't call her mother and talk about anything. There wasn't any closure that she could get with her mother directly. So she came to me, and we worked on just clearing anything that was in the way of her letting go of this feeling she had toward her mother that was causing problems with all the other extended family members. And she said that when I worked with her, she felt some sort of wave of energy come up through her and disappear out the top of her head. And she felt light. She felt so much lighter, like a burden had been lifted. And she didn't have any residual anger toward anyone in her family. And she found that when the subject of her mother came up when she was with her other family members, she didn't have any triggering anger that came up. And she was so grateful. It had been years, and she was just so grateful. And that's why I keep doing this. It's because I see how it helps other people. And if I can relieve burdens that have been there forever, it just makes me I just feel joy when I can help other people.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Marnie, what do you have to say?
Yeah. I have been consulting people on business stuff for years, probably 30 years. And I would notice that people, you could give them the best advice on what to do with their business or whatever, but their emotions and their thinking and something would just like hold them back. And so what really got me into Simply Aligned was that I knew instinctively they've got some kind of barrier. And I felt bad consulting them on business, knowing they wouldn't follow through because they had some kind of belief system or something that wasn't going to allow them to do it. So I thought, I need this piece over here that I'd had some sessions myself with practitioners and had seen really cool results and shifting my thinking about what was possible. And so what I really love about being a Simply Aligned practitioner is that it blends really well with what I'm already doing with my clients. When you move them forward in a business thing and they hit a wall because they've got fears or limiting beliefs that come up, I have a tool now that I can help them get through that, and then they keep their momentum and they get the outcomes that they're wanting because they don't have all that junk in the way that we are able to move with the Simply Align.
I love that. I know it's like a secret weapon for any kind of coaches or holistic people or anybody who wants to use it. And it might sound a little from some of the comments that it's kind of woo-woo-ish, but I think it's so practical and down to earth, and it's so easy to use anytime, anywhere. Most of us, I think our clients are over the phone or Zoom or Skype. We don't need to be there in person. I've always done phone clients the whole 20 plus years I've been doing this. It wasn't just since COVID. I mean, we've always done it over the phone because that's the way energy knows no distance. So it doesn't matter how far away you are. And I love when business coaches take the class and find out, like get some tools in their tool belt of how to do what Marnie's doing, like make the underlying shifts for people. Like you can teach them what to do, the tactical steps, but also there's those subconscious beliefs that we all have that can slow us down. So let's see, Christine, you haven't had a turn to talk yet.
Hi, I'm Christine Farley, and I've been doing Simply Aligned for over 12 years. And I mostly work with women who are in transitions, and they come to me with some very serious issues and heartaches in their life. And one of the things that I have found is previously I have been trained in other modalities, and Simply Align brings it all together in a perfect package that is easy for me to facilitate to the clients. And their results exponentially have increased, and they go faster and easier, and they transition easier. I had the opportunity to speak with a client yesterday, and I had worked with her for quite a few years, off and on, and through some really serious issues and some generational things in which she was carrying horrible burdens. And she called me just to say how grateful she was that she felt relief of those burdens. But not only did that affect her, but it affected her marriage. Her marriage has gotten better. Her children feel lighter. They're all adult children now. And even it has affected her mother and her relationship with her mom, but her mom's relationship with herself. So we see how generational work can enhance everybody's life. And that's just a part of what we do as Simply Aligned.
Well said. Yes. Heal one person, heal generations. Yes, that was a beautiful story. All right. Anybody have anything to say if pretend like I'm thinking about coming to the class? You got any advice? Any advice out there for somebody who's kind of on the fence? They want to, they're not sure if it's the right fit, because we want the right fit also. We have a fantastic community. As you can tell, these guys all know each other. We do refreshers. We do monthly calls, twice a month. and it's just a great supportive community. And I'm honored by all these people in our community. And, we would love to have you join us, but does anybody have anything you want to?
I would like to second what Carolyn said. You are getting a sisterhood or a sister / some brotherhood of this amazing energy and hearts that will just lift you up. So like when we call into a monthly practitioner session, you are just going to feel all the energy and support they will wrap around you. You will most likely bond closely and quickly with the other people that are in the class coming up. And you will remain in touch with them. You will connect with them, and they will just lift you up. Because at times, I think it's natural, but when I was taking the class, I would have doubts like, oh, I don't know if, you're so good at this, or it doesn't come as natural. And they will just calm you down and reassure you all of those doubts that are going on. They can use the energy work, but just their love and their pure intentions, it will feel like nothing else.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it is. Everybody most people kind of go through a little phase where they're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have what it takes. And that usually doesn't last very long because we clear their fears and worries about it. And they get the practice in and they see, oh, I can do this. It's pretty easy. Yeah, that's why it's called SimplyAlign. Did anybody else have anything to say before we wrap it up? If we could get a few more comments. Go, Marnie.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking when I very first was considering doing this, I thought, well, I don't know if I've got all these intuitive skills or whether I, really can do all this. I was coming more from a practical business, technical background. And I just remember getting in that class, and Carolyn has such a down-to-earth, practical style of teaching that it was doable to me. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I understand this. So not only is it an intuitive sort of work, but there's also a lot of logic to it and a lot of really simple techniques and things. And Carolyn's confidence kind of rubbed off on me. I think, it's like, she's so confident about this. Just do this. Just, do this, and then the energy will move. And I started to do it, and it worked. I was like, oh, okay. So I just need to have the faith to do this, and it will work. I don't know if anybody's kind of sitting on the fence thinking they may not have the skill set. I think you do. If you're drawn to it, I think you have what it takes.
Yeah, thank you. I always say, if you're drawn to it, you have a place in this work.
I'm always, I go back to the very beginning, and I've always been really a type A personality that doesn't, I wasn't drawn to all the woo-woo. So when I first started exploring this, I realized there's a lot of woo-woo that's actually science. So it was really refreshing to me to come and see that the people in the class are all highly intelligent people that aren't all, it didn't feel woo-woo when I was there. I mean, I was expecting more flaky, hippie woo-woo stuff, and it was not like that at all. And Einstein was quoted, and I just love that this it's energy is everything, so it fits everywhere.
I love that. Yeah, for some reason it attracts like just a really great. It just attracts great people. I love it. Of course, I use energy work in my business to attract the right people. So, okay, did anybody? Some of you didn't get to talk too much. Any last words? Oh, that sounded bad. Any last words on this Zoom call, Tana?
I think if you're wondering about taking the class, you should take it And because it will really change your life. And even if you think, oh, I'm not as good as other people, or they have, because you look, and I don't know if I have that intuition. There's a lot of things you'll learn that we kind of overlook in our society, and we learn about our gifts and talents. That's one of the things I've learned. And you learn to recognize it in other people, but really it will just totally change your life. And some people have dramatic results, but other people, it's very subtle. And like they might think, oh, what's, I don't know if that worked or not. But then a few days, hours, days, maybe even months down the year, you're like, oh, that changed somehow. And so it will really change your life. And it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
Oh, Tana, that's so sweet. So glad to have you here. All right. Anybody else? No pressure or anything. I just don't want to cut you off if you're not done.
So I just wanted to say, if you have any interest at all, that is your energy saying, I am being drawn to SimplyAlign. So just come, just do it. And, even if you decide not to become a practitioner, think about how much personal growth you will have and how much it will enhance your family. And that it has for me.
Thank you. I love that. Bridget, did you have something to say? I saw your mouth moving.
Sorry. When I stumbled, I say that I stumbled on your website back in 2011, and I didn't know anything about energy work. So I just had my business degree. So I was coming at life from that kind of viewpoint, and I found your website, and it was just like an immediate something clicked, and I didn't want to do anything else. And I got mad if somebody's at the door, if it was time to eat. I didn't want to do anything but learn this. And so I felt like once I got started, I could not put it away. And so immediately, it was never a question for me. It was an immediate click from the beginning, and it just went. So
Thank you. And you're so good at it. You've helped so many people with such a variety of things. All of these guys have. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. And anybody else, raise your hand if you've got one last thing before we sign off. We're good? Okay, we're good. Thank you so much for being here and listening. And you can see their names, all Christine Farley, Marnie Coons, Bridget Atkin, Tana Longhurst, and Carol Colvin, and Karen Piskarich. Most of them are on the Certified Practitioner page. Karen will be very soon. And at simplyalign.com, we have all the info for the training. You can check it out there. And if there's even a place to sign up for a 20-minute session with me, a phone session or a Zoom session, if you have more questions, or you just kind of want to snoop it out a little bit more before signing up, sign up and do a 20-minute call with me. And all of these guys are on the directory. If you want to try out a real session to see exactly what it is and what it can do for you, that's a great idea too. So, all right. Thanks, practitioners, for being here. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.